Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'd like to take a look at the possibility of the Pokemon TCG predicting the release date for Legends ZA, which is of course a new Pokemon game that is supposed to be releasing next year. Now, as the title suggests, this is of course just pure speculation until we get some solid confirmation and news, so take it as a grain of salt, I guess. But I do think it's fun to speculate and just, kind of recap the upcoming releases and see potentially when this game will release and when we can expect to see its cards in the TCG. So the first part of this video is very much just like the history of like set releases basically in conjunction to video games. So if you're just interested in seeing like the prediction, I guess, then of course, skip to the end or whatever. But first part of this video is very much the evidence. So, Japan's Pokemon TCG sets always release around the same time as new games. This is to market each other, which just, makes sense. Sword and Shield released on November 15th, 2019 for the Nintendo Switch, with 2 weeks later, the Sword and Shield set hit stores in Japan. So, it's just like video games market the set markets the video game. It's kind of like a mutual agreement, I guess, in a way. They introduced Pokemon V to the TCG with VMAX cards referencing Dynamax Pokemon. I still, for some reason, cannot get over the fact that they didn't just call them Dynamax. Like, why did they have to change a name? Was it like a rights issue or something? Like, Dynamax just sounds way cooler. I guess it's just like VMAX is a shorter version of Dynamax, but I think Dynamax would have been a better name for them. But, it's just a small thing that I've got going on. But yeah. Starbirth, featuring Arceus V-Star, released on January 14th, 2022, as the first set of the year. 2 weeks later, Legends Arceus released for the Nintendo Switch, a rare case of the set coming before the game. I don't know why that was, but maybe they couldn't find a way to, I guess, make the set release align with the game to come beforehand. So, yeah, the set released before the game. And then we had Starbirth introduced Pokemon V-Star to TCG. Pokemon V-Star were loosely inspired by the frenzy Pokemon in the game that were blessed by Arceus' power. The mechanic lasted until V-Star Universe in December, a whole year. Yeah, personally, I don't think V-Stars were like the best way maybe of implementing the frenzy Pokemon. I think there could have been some better ideas, but V-Stars I still think were really cool and definitely a step up from V-Maxes in terms of design, at least in my opinion though. But yeah, the following sets, Time Gazer and Space Juggler, featured the first Pokemon, humans, and settings from the game, however. So yeah, Starbirth didn't actually feature like much content from the game. It was basically just saying, hey, look, here's Arceus, and it's important again. But yeah, the Time Gazer and Space Juggler, which of course became our Astral Radiance set. That was like the main set for this sort of like Hisuian setting, basically. But they released on April 8th, 2022 in Japan. Then we got Astral Radiance shortly afterwards, I guess. Scarlet Violet hit the Nintendo Switch on November 18th, 2022. And then Scarlet EX and Scarlet Violet EX, so basically just Scarlet Violet base set for us, released 2 months later on January 20th as the first sets of the year. And they reintroduced Pokemon EX, I guess, in a way, to the TCG, with Tara Pokemon EX representing terrestrialized Pokemon. Again, a mechanic that I think was a bit boring. I think they could have done a better job with this one, but at the end of the day, they still look very cool and, a lot of fun cards as well to be had from them. For most Pokemon games, a TCG set is always within 2 months of the video game it's based on. That's like the key point here. They also introduce new mechanics that are at least loosely inspired by the game. So yeah, I would definitely say the TCG could borrow a lot more from the games and take even more inspiration, but they obviously have a system in place, and I don't see them, accurately translating some things from the games. I mean, there's a few things that I really wish they would have translated, like the Totem Pokemon from Sun and Moon. I think that was a massively missed opportunity, to say the least, but also like not strictly relevant, and we can move on. But yeah, with all this in mind, what can we glean from the upcoming TCG schedule about the release of Legends IA? We only know the game will release in 2025, takes place in Luminos City, and will feature the return of Mega Evolutions. And ZA definitely suggests we'll see like Zygarde, basically. I definitely think we'll see Zygarde. We'll definitely see, Yveltal, Xerneas, that kind of thing. So yeah. And it will feature the return of Mega Evolutions. I hadn't realized that was a confirmation. I thought that was just speculation, but okay, maybe it was confirmed in the trailer. But yeah, we know Battle Partners will release in Japan on January 24th, which we talked about recently. It's the first set of 2025, which usually introduces the year's new mechanic. That is a good point. The official sell sheet tells us it will feature characters like Iono, N, and Lily, so they all kind of like bring back fan favorites, I guess. None of these characters are associated with Kalos as we know it, of course. The name of the set also makes no obvious reference to Kalos as we know it. I think we'll still see, like Kalos stuff, I guess, in this set. In a way, we'll see like maybe some important trainers and their Pokemon. But yeah, aside from that, it's definitely not, a Legends ZA set directly, basically. On February 21st, two pre-constructed decks will release named Starter Set EX, Stevens, Beldam, and Metagross EX. What a mouthful of a title. And Marnie's Morpeko and Grimmsnarl EX. Yeah. Again, none of these characters are associated with Kalos as we know it. The existence of these decks also implies that TCG will be introducing owner's Pokemon in Battle Partners. I mean, yes, absolutely. Like, it is Stevens, Beldam, and Metagross. It's no one else's. Is this a tag team? That was also a speculation that we're going off. Is this actually a tag team Pokemon, Beldam and Metagross? Or is it, just Stevens Beldam and Stevens Metagross? We don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see, really. But yeah, very cool news. And we also know from the trademark listings that a set called The Glory of Team Rocket, the one that I'm really looking forward to, is in the works. The soonest, however, this set can release is in March, and that's for Japan. So, yeah, we're not going to see any of those cards for ages. But yeah, we don't know anything about the set, but presumably it will see the return of Rocket's Pokemon. Yeah, I think that would be weird to have an entire set based around the glory of Team Rocket and not bring back Dark or Rocket's Pokemon. I did do a recent video talking about potential cards they could reprint, so do check that out if you're interested in this, but it's going to be a long time before we see any of these cards officially revealed. Yeah, going to be strange, but yeah, quite a wait. These 2025 releases hint the TCG will be focusing on owner's Pokemon. Yep. While we don't know much about ZA, it doesn't seem the mechanic relates to Kalos in a significant way. Not like VMAX of Galar, V Star for Sui, or Terra EX for Paldea, or, owner's Pokemon aren't really associated with Mega Evolution either. Then, there is like some stuff like, was it Lysander that has a Mega Gyarados? But aside from that, there's no like direct link basically. Rather, it's as if the TCG is stalling for 2025, which could be concerning or it could be a plus side in some people's books. Reviving a beloved mechanic only because there isn't a new video game content to work with, using a variety of popular humans from different games, including Team Rocket, also indicates this. So, yeah, next year in the TCG might literally just be a bunch of these kind of special themed sets, I guess. Think like how Astro Radiance wasn't really a Sword and Shield set. It was from Legends Arceus, but it wasn't really like fitting in with the generation. And I think it's going to be a lot of that, just a lot of themed stuff. So, I mean, it's a plus side if, there's like Pokemon, Tyrantrum, for example, that haven't had a card in a while, or maybe they don't get a lot of love in the games, then maybe we'll see a lot more of them as opposed to another year of Scarlet and Violet themed sets. So I think this could work out good, but it's obviously a bit of a concern, I guess. However, the TCG features new mechanics for a handful of sets. This means the owner's mechanic won't be dropped quickly. So yeah, they'll probably keep it around for as long as they have trainers basically to pair with Pokemon. A defining feature of ZA will presumably be its Mega Evolutions. There's no doubt the TCG will market this. Yeah, it's just confirmed, basically, without being confirmed. Like, there's no way that they make a set based on this game that features Mega Evolutions and they don't bring back Megas to the TCG. There's no doubt the TCG will market this as it's done in the past, especially if there's new Mega Evolutions. So yeah, that's another good point, actually. There might be new forms of Mega Evolution, which would be cool. Therefore, it seems the TCG is hinting a Legends ZA set won't come out until at least April. Quite a while, but the TCG will likely feature the owner's mechanic for a few sets beyond Rocket, or even longer. So yeah, we'll get like owner's Pokemon in Rocket, implying a later 2025 release for Legends ZA. So yeah, quite a wait. Of course, this is all speculation and linear thinking based on current I know English. Precedent, it can account, we're going to skip that word, it can't account for any curveballs, yeah. So we should get a better idea of 2025's release schedule during this year's Worlds, which will be held from August 16th, so in a couple of days from now, to the 18th. It will be at the event, I swear I know English. I will be at the event to cover any news. This guy, not me. We're expecting owners Pokemon to be revealed for the TCG. I mean, they could reveal like some other mechanic, I guess, but I think owners Pokemon are definitely what's going to get revealed at Worlds. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I think I'm like away when this stuff goes down, but hopefully not. We will discuss the news story on this week's episode of the Poke Beach podcast, so stay tuned. So yeah. Also, update, revised headline to, okay, that's just changing the title. But yeah, so this was made by Water Pokemon Master, just to confirm, who is the creator of Poke Beach and the source of basically all the news that I make. So, definitely go check out his podcast if you're interested in hearing more of his thoughts on this. I definitely recommend it. And, obviously check out more Poke Beach news stories. But yeah, it's, I guess it's not like super clear as to when this is releasing, but I think this does give us a good idea of what to expect from next year in terms of TCG sets. Not just Legends ZA and the return of Mega Evolutions, but also just in general as to what's coming out. Like the Glory of Team Rocket is like the set that I'm very hyped for. I really hope they don't fumble this. If it's just like another 151 situation where it's just like nothing too crazy, nothing that different, sure, I guess it'll be okay, but when we've just had a Gen 1 inspired set like 151, I'd really like to think that they would do something special for Team Rocket. They would release Dark Pokemon at the very least, or Team Rocket's Pokemon. This also does open the door, I think, to seeing sets like Team Plasma, or, like Team Skull, even from like the Sun and Moon era. Some very cool sets based around teams. I would love to see a Team Skull set. Like, I know a lot of people hate them, but I think that would be very funny to see them. Like a Guzma Gliscopod owner's Pokemon would be very, very cool to see. So yeah, that's just some speculation, and yeah, a very exciting time to be a fan of the TCG and the game series. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. It's been Empower, and as always, thank you for watching.